Hey everyone, so tonight I'm going to make magic blondies for you. And what I really wanted to showcase is our new Brilliance bakeware. This is our 8x8 pan. You know, a couple seasons ago they came out with the Brilliance cookware. And it has the nice blue exterior, just like our bakeware now does. And the inside of it is, well, it's non-stick. I'm not sure really what it's made out of. But I've been working on using it a little bit, and it really does do like a dream. Now, I will say that the lids can't go in the oven, but they are good for making things up and then storing them. If you want to make casseroles up ahead of time, then you can pull them out the next night and bake them off or whatever. So we're going to do magic blondies this evening. And here I have a half a cup of melted butter. And we're going to add to that a cup of brown sugar. Actually, let me just say before I do that, because I've got pecans in my cup measurer here, I'm going to use our chopper. Now the chopper's been around for a long time. I used to have one and it broke on me, and I actually just got one from a kitchen store. And I liked it, but it didn't last very long. So I went back to using the Pampered Chef one. Now here I have, this recipe calls for a half a cup of chopped nuts. I have about a cup here, because by the time that's chopped down and smaller, it's probably going to be about half a cup. And so as you chop, those blades go round and round, and the more you chop, the finer it gets. Let's see what we have here. Woo. Making a little bit of a mess. Well, I don't know, that is about half a cup, because that's about the same as my graham crackers. Okay, good enough then. I'm just going to sit these over here to the side, and I'll munch on those later. Okay, so now to our melted butter. We're going to add a cup of brown sugar. And most recipes say packed, so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Packing it in. Does this say packed? No, it just says brown sugar. Well, we're packing it in. Then after the brown sugar, we're going to do 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. So, just going to crack my egg here. I'm going to crack this egg at the sink here. So here's just 1 yolk. And our vanilla. And I'm still using my double strength Madagascar bourbon vanilla. You know, we don't have this in the catalog right now, but it usually comes out at Christmas, usually about a month or so before, and it's here until the end of the year or while supplies last. So, a little bit of this goes a long way. And actually, where it says double strength, during COVID, I bought some vanilla beans and tried to make my own vanilla. I did make my own vanilla, actually. And so double strength actually means that you're using double the amount of vanilla beans that you normally would have in something. So it makes it that much stronger. So sometimes you actually could cut that back to half, but I'm just going to follow the recipe. This is a Pampered Chef recipe, and they've already got it the way they want it. So I'm going to Use my mix and scrape here. I maybe should have got my classic batter bowl out instead of this one. We'll see, I might be able to do it. I got the oven preheating to 325. So probably about the time I have all this mixed up, it'll be ready for us. I don't know if you guys like Blondies or not, but the thing about Blondies is they have more of a caramel taste than a chocolatey taste. Although these kind of remind me of a cross between a Blondie and those magic cookie bars where you layer everything up. Okay, so now we're gonna add our flour. We're using a cup of flour, which is why I needed to get the nuts out of here. I've been using quite a bit of my flour this week. I'm gonna have to get some more. And when you're baking, you always want to try to use fairly precise measurements, especially of the core main ingredients. And then our baking soda, we're going to do 1/4 cup. And our salt. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I didn't lay my 1/2 teaspoon measure out. I'll just do the 1/4 twice here. And that's half. Okay. So we will stir this the rest of the way up. And I didn't sift my flour. I usually buy a flour that is very fine in texture, so it really doesn't have to be pre-sifted. But if yours is not, and you feel like you should to make it have a smoother texture, then by all means, go ahead. Okay. So in our 8x8 pan, I'm just going to spray it with some cooking spray. And then we are going to this isn't like the magic bars where I would mix that up. Nuts, chocolate, and peanut butter. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add our 1/2 cup of nuts. Wait a minute. Yep. Our 1/2 cup of nuts. We're going to do 1/2 cup of chocolate. That's where I grabbed that. And I'm going to use my little clips. These clips are, on one side they're like a clip, and on the other side they have a razor, so you can cut your little bags. Works really great with cake mixes, cookie mixes, or as you can see, chocolate chips. If I go down far enough to do it. There we go. Now this recipe calls for peanut butter chips, half a cup of chocolate chips, semi-sweet, and half a cup of peanut butter chips. I don't do peanut butter as much, so I'm gonna do butterscotch. I'm not gonna say I don't like peanut butter. I just think I would prefer butterscotch in these. But to each his own. If you're one that loves the chocolate and peanut butter together, then you may want to go ahead and do that. Okay. And yes, I probably should have used the classic batter bowl instead of my small batter bowl to mix this. So we're just going to stir this and kind of get it combined a little bit. All right. And then it just says to dollop this in the pan, but don't smooth it out. So, here we go. So I guess that probably means it's going to spread out on its own then. It's back here to me before I really make a big mess. Hey, it's not cooking though if you're not making a little bit of a mess, right? So that's just put in there, but not really spread out. So then after that, we're going to sprinkle our graham cracker crumbs. This is half or a little bit more. I wasn't sure how many of our graham cracker sticks to crush up. So we're going to sprinkle this on top. And I've already heard my oven beep, so I know that it's ready. Kitty. I'm going to use our smooth edge can opener, and we're going to open up sweetened condensed milk. And all we're really going to do is just turn this, and you know you've got this hook good when you can lift it up in the air and it still stays attached, but you can kind of feel when it catches on. Okay, and it's just sort of doesn't act like it wants to go now, so it's done. And the way you're going to take this apart is you're going to reverse it, and it comes right off. And this has like a little beak or whatever I call it here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going to put this right here on the edge, press the button, and it's going to clamp on and lift right off. And we're going to pour that over. I should have used my mini mix and scrape, but this is getting in here pretty good. I love sweetened condensed milk. Anything that has that in it has got to be good. Okay. And then we're going to top it with a half a cup of sweetened coconut. Now this is one of our older Twix-It clips. The new ones are a light blue color, and I like to use those when I store things in the freezer or refrigerator, either one. So I'm going to take my half cup measure, And just sprinkle that on top. Okay. And that is it. We are going to pop this in the oven, and it says it's going to bake for 45 minutes, 44 to 46. That's 45 in my book. Or until golden brown and set. So, I will put this in here, and we will see how that turns out. This is actually how it looks in the picture, guys. So that's all of that. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.